What's the biggest problem you are facing in your sales career or as a business owner right now? Is it that you're closing less than 20% of the leads you get? Or do you feel like you're only getting low quality leads? And how is that shaping your future decisions? Are you even thinking about changing your careers at this point? Stick with me for a few seconds because the real truth is you don't have a lead problem. You have a mindset problem, and that mindset problem has led to a sales problem. And today I'm digging into the 3 mindset shifts that separate the top 10% from everyone else. But before I unpack all of that for you, let me tell you why over 70% of the viewers will click off before the end of this video. The biggest reason why most people will click away from this video and they won't succeed as a sales professional or as a business owner, it really comes down to the 4 levels of coachability. And the first level of coachability that I talk about with everyone is that you're not coachable. Most people in life, we just aren't coachable. We don't want to listen to anybody else except for our own little voice in our head. And maybe that's not you, but you surely know somebody who is like that, where no matter how many things that you tell them, no matter what they learn from anybody else, they don't believe anybody else except for their own little voice in their head. That's one of the very first levels of coachability that gets in the way of everyone's success. The second level of coachability is that they're reluctantly coachable. What I mean by reluctantly coachable is that you sometimes when you feel like, hey, look, I want to be coachable. I think today's a good day for me. I feel good. I'm in a good mood. So today I'll listen and I will hear what the message is from somebody else, and I will actually do what they actually tell me to do or give me advice on how to do. And reluctantly coachable is one of the ones that most of us fall in about 80% of the time in our life. The other one that we fall into is the third level of coachability, and that's being selective. So selectively coachable. And selectively coachable is if you believe what somebody says, or if you agree with what they're saying, you're going to go ahead and be coachable, and you're going to do what that coach, mentor, or that master in your life is asking you to do, and then you'll apply it, and you'll actually succeed with it, and then you'll see that you have success. Or once you disagree with what they say, you're not going to do it. And again, 80% of the time in our life, we either fall into being reluctantly coachable or selectively coachable. And if we can shift out of that into the last level of coachability, that level 4, we will become one of those top 10% in whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm talking about as a sales professional and as a business owner right now. And that is if you become 100% coachable. That means let everything go. Meaning whether you agree or you disagree with whatever is being said, even in this video, whatever is being said, that you just do what they're asking you to do or what advice that they're giving. Just try it out, experiment with it, see if it works. If it doesn't work, discard it. If it works, keep it. And then adjust to it and adapt to it and make it yours in some way or another. So those are the 4 levels of coachability, and they're also the 4 levels of coachability that when we get into the next part of this video, if you are either reluctantly coachable or selectively coachable, that means that you're completely and totally skeptical of what I'm going to be talking about, you're not going to gain anything from it. And it's also the exact reason why 70% of the people will leave before the end of this video. All right, now let's get into unpacking the 3 things that if you shift today, will change everything for you, will change the way that you're able to sell, and will change your business forever. Okay, I call these the 3 A's. The first A that you need to start off with is the right attitude. So if you approach everything from the right attitude and you start from that attitude, meaning that if you're getting leads and they're not converting into customers, again, it's not a lead problem, it's a mindset problem. So it's your approach, the way that you look at that lead or that prospect that's coming to you, and the way that you're dealing with that prospect. Most of the time as a sales professional or a business owner, we think our job is to pitch. We think we need to tell them as much as we can, barf out as much information that we can give them, and let them then make the decision whether they're going to buy or not. And most of the time, we're not uncovering any problems and we're not asking any questions. Therefore, we're not getting the results we want. And we start to say, well, it's because we're getting low quality leads. And let me tell you a story about that real quick, because I just recently, 3 days ago, talked to a business professional, a couple. They've been operating this business for the last 7+ years. And all they're telling me is that they're getting low quality leads. So I asked them, how many leads per month are you getting? And they say, we get about 150. And how many of them turn into customers? They say approximately about 30 of them. That's 20% that turn into customers. And we're talking about one-time customers only. They make one purchase. And then I asked them what percent actually become recurring customers. And they said half of that, about 15 of them. So only 10% of them become recurring customers. And all they're telling me is that they have a low quality lead flow that's coming into them. That it's something is up with the franchise. They've changed everything, and they're making all these excuses that they have a lead problem, but they're getting 150 leads per month and only closing 20% of them. They don't have a lead problem. They have a mindset problem way before they even have a sales problem. So their mindset is, I got low quality leads, therefore my leads suck. And therefore, that's the reason why my business is going down the drain. And hence, I'm thinking about possibly I have to change careers or go back into the work field and get a full-time job doing something. That's not the right mindset to have. The right mindset to have is to go and go, look, what do I need to fix my mindset wise? What attitude do I need to start with to understand how I can take 150 leads and pump that into 50, 60, maybe 70% close rate? Because if they closed 60% of their leads, let's just do the math here, and they're getting 150 leads, they close 60% of that. That's 90 leads. And let's say they still stay with the same rate of closing all of them on the first time with an average ticket size of $400 is what they said. That's $36,000. Let's divide that by 2. That's $18,000 if they stick with the 20%, or 10% of them only becoming recurring customers. That's now $18,000 a month that they're adding to their book of business. Again, if you don't start with the right attitude, you're always going to think that your leads suck, that your leads are low quality, and that you can't do anything with them and you're not able to close any sales. Again, start with the right attitude. The second A that I talk about is taking the right action. So if you don't have the right action that you're taking towards your sales professional career or as a business owner, it doesn't matter your attitude anymore. You can have a good positive attitude. You can come to work all pumped up and motivated and thinking you're going to crush the day and crush the world. And guess what? You don't take the right actions. That means that there's certain behaviors that you have to do in order to close more sales, in order to build your book of business, in order to grow your business. If you can identify what those core fundamental behaviors are, you will be able to move the needle and move closer to being successful. Is this an overnight success? No. If you're looking for a quick fix, this is definitely not it. You're going to need to be willing to be consistent over and over and over, which leads me into the third A, application. If you don't apply the right principles, that means the behaviors that you figured out in your action side of things, if you don't apply them on a daily basis, weekly basis, and a monthly basis, you'll never come to the end of 12 months and have achieved more in 12 months than you have in the last 12 years. So again, the 3 A's is you have to have the right attitude. Second, you have to have the right action that you're taking. And third, you need to be willing to apply the right principles, which are those action behaviors, over and over and over. That means that you have to put in the reps. And remember this, anyone can do a push-up, but can you do a push-up every day? Can you do 10 push-ups every day to build your health, to build your mindset, right? What are the things that you're going to do every day to have the right attitude? What are the things you're going to do every day that you're going to take the right action towards that's going to get you the results that you want? If you do those 3 A's, then success becomes what we like to call easy. It's not easy, it's just simple. You identify the right behaviors, you come in with the right attitude, and then you just consistently do that over and over and over, and then you become successful. Now, in the next video, I'm going to talk about the things that you need to do to continue to win at sales, win at business, and win at life. If you watch that next right over here, I'm going to cover that with you.